Join Dalton and Jacob as they discuss the ever-changing world of trading card games. TCG Buzz starts now.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Dalton, back at it again with Jacob messing around with the controls once again. Right, Jacob?
Hey, no one's perfect.
This is true. This is true. I do not know why I am so bright or white. I don't know. I can't explain it. It is a little blinding.
That's right. We'll just keep the camera on me the entire time.
We want to show them beauty, not ugliness. Come on.
Just looks like you got like a halo coming down, like a beam of light from the sky, the heavens on you.
I have arisen to a new purpose in life.
What are we doing today?
All right, so we were kind of getting concerned because it's Wednesday. Spoilers.
Spoilers for the day it is.
Amen. Since we archived these, so the people who are watching it maybe tomorrow will understand when this came out.
Okay.
We were getting a little concerned. We're like, we've been doing so much for some of the other channels that we have, and we're like, oh no, TCG Buzz is getting neglected. Our peoples, they need us. They need us.
And literally last minute, I came up with the idea for today's live stream.
Yep, that is true. So what is this live stream?
I thought it would be fun for us to go through every single booster set ever released for Future Card Buddyfight and talk about them a little bit, what we thought of them, and give them a rating. Thought that would be fun. Go back a little blast from the past. If you saw the thumbnail, it's got grandfather clock in it. Get it?
So what's our first one? It's Dragon Chief, right?
It is Dragon Chief, the first ever booster set released for Buddyfight. It introduced Dragon World, Danger World, and Magic World. Actually, it might not have introduced those first two. I think the trial decks came out a week beforehand. Or maybe they were a same-day launch. I'm really not sure.
I don't know. Were there only 3 worlds?
There were only 3 worlds back then.
No. Supported, not back then.
Well, there was also generic.
Fair. You got to remember that.
So
she's still waiting on my generic world flag.
The set was interesting. Let's see. Because it introduced, the start of the game, and it was fairly well balanced. Dragon World was very strong at the time. But there was very much a triangle meta between Dragon, Danger, and Magic, with Dragon being the balanced of the 3, Danger being aggressive, and Magic being control-orientated. And, it's a pretty good set, I'd have to say. It's got some cool cards in it.
Yeah, that's true. Before we go any further, we got to say what the rating scale is. It's a basic scale. It's 1 through 10.
Oh, wow.
I just had to get that out there.
My favorite card from the set, can you guess what it was?
Grandfather clock?
It was Demon Lord Asmodai. That's in set 2, man.
I know, that's why I said it. Let's see. What was my favorite card? Did I buy much of that?
I did. Even though we got into the game a while after it was introduced, it was still such a good set.
You got into the game after that. Me and Christian, we was in it from day one, man. Because remember, Christian got you into it, but I got Christian into it.
Yeah, but that was still after the first set came out.
This is true. First set.
I bought a ton of it.
Let's be real. Let's be real here. We all know who my favorite card was, or what my favorite card was. Do you know?
Demon Goro?
Am I gonna have to smack you? Be realistic here, man. Come on. We all know it was Drum. Get on my level. Whew.
Also, Asmodai was in that set, so yeah.
And nobody cares.
But I bought a ton of that set for one reason and one reason alone. Blue Dragon Shield. Blue Dragon Shield was a rare in that set, and it was like the chase card. A nice one was also a rare in the set and was pretty hard to find, but it was Blue Dragon Shield was the big card. And I remember working so hard to get my play set for my Thunder Knights deck.
Seems fair. Yeah, a lot of cards that were kind of short printed, I guess. Mainly Blue Dragon Shield, because it was expensive for the longest time, man. It was stupid expensive.
Let's also not forget what the Buddy Rare was. Because back then, Buddy Rares were preview cards. Set 1, I believe it was the...
What was set 2?
Set 1, I believe, was Jackknife Dragon.
What was set 2? I didn't ask you.
Set 2 is Cyber Ninja Squad, but we have the character pack first. That's next.
Sure.
I think it was Jackknife, but I'm not certain.
You.
Glad
to say.
It's a really good set, though, in my opinion. Very well balanced between the three. SPs look gorgeous. I still stand by the fact that the original SP design is my favorite. I don't know how you feel about that.
Each SP has a different meaning to me. That's all I'll say.
PR was Jackknife. Thanks, guys. So yeah, the set was really good.
No, that just made the set worse to me.
Oh. I remember pulling. No, someone else was cracking packs. I'm like, that pack has a Jackknife Dragon Buddy Rare in it. It did. True story.
True story, mate.
Not clickbait. So I'm gonna rate it first. We're each gonna give our own rating. Yeah.
Yeah.
Out of 10, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I think the balance was really good in the set. Certainly, a lot of the cards are not worth what they used to be. Pretty much the only card that's really held value is Osmodai. And some of the cards are still weird because remember, like a couple of the double rares and whatnot in the set were also cards from the trial deck, like Gargantua Punisher, which they did a lot in the first couple sets, and I never liked that.
That's true. My rating, huh? You know, I was going to be on the same page with you, giving it that 8 out of 10, and then you guys just had to go out and confirm that Jackknife was the Buddy Rare. It's a 7 out of 10, man. 7 out of 10. Still a good set, just that Jackknife. I can't agree with that Jackknife, man.
We are going in chronological order, if you didn't figure that out. So next is going to be Burning Valor, the first character pack, which was really unique because you only got 3 cards in a booster pack.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got, 2 commons or uncommons. They skipped one of the rarities. You only got one of the 2 in the set. And then you got 1 rarer above. Problem back then, we never bought much of it. Mostly because of the fact that our local game store priced the 3 card packs at the same exact price as other sets.
Oh yeah, they were pretty expensive.
Yeah. We don't go to that local game store anymore. Now we go to the fabulous, wonderful Frost Giant Games LLC.
Hey.
So Burning Valor was all Dragon World cards. Good focus on Armor Dragons,
Dragon Knights,
and Dragon Knights, and that was it. Standout card for me from the set was Drago Knuckle was in the set as a double rare.
That's right. I was trying to remember because I know recently I've been buying more of it.
It's a cool set, I think. It just shouldn't have been as expensive as what we had to pay for it. It's still probably one of the worst selling sets, though. I see tons upon tons of, like unsold stock of it.
Seems fair.
Also,
the
first Thunder Knights card was in it.
Who cares?
Oh, I forget his name. Oh, Halberd. Duh.
Who cares about Thunder Knights?
And let's not forget the Buddy Rare was Jackknife Dragon, whatever the form was, Disperser or something like that. Was
it Gold?
No, it was weird because it was the only time in the first season where the preview wasn't from a card from the next set. Instead, it was from the next trial deck.
Fair. Which was fine, especially since it was a climax booster and not a normal booster set. What was the card? Because, I was buying it recently. What was the card that I was really searching out of it?
Probably a Dragon Knight.
Was Vlad in it?
No, he was later.
No.
I don't know what you were looking for. It's just a cool set because we never opened much of it.
Yeah, it's true.
Also, Green Dragon Shield is in it, and one of its rare appearances in a main booster set.
No, that wasn't it. No. And you keep switching on to the wrong cameras. You know that, right?
Hey, man.
I can't remember what I was looking for in it.
It's an okay set.
It was decent. It was nothing crazy. If I had to rate it, I'd probably give it a 2
out of 10.
Out of 10, of course. We already stated that.
I'm actually going to give it a 4 out of 10. I wasn't super interested in it at the time, and I'm not super interested in it now.
And what was your favorite card from it?
Dragon Knuckle? Or whatever, the one that gains...
Steel Fist Dragon Knuckle.
Yep.
If I could remember what else was in it, because it was a specific card I was looking for, and that's the card that I liked.
Was El Quixote in that? No.
No.
It was in the set before. Anyways, we're going to spend 10 hours on this.
Just try for me to figure that out. Let's move on to the second main booster set, Cyber Ninja Squad.
I think you should lead this off.
Tsukikage. Why did you do me so dirty back then? Oh. No, I can't even relive the story, man.
I'll start with this. For the longest time, Cyber Ninja Squad was one of the best investments in the game because almost every triple rare was expensive. Mary Sue was expensive. Grandfather Clock, Tsukikage, Yamagitsune, all big money cards.
Was there a fifth one? Because 4 seems odd for triple rares.
The Dragon World ones were kind of meh. Oh, and Star Crusher.
Star Crusher.
All big money cards.
Was Super Armor Dragon Gargantua Blade Dragon? No.
Not yet.
No.
I believe it was Galvanic Feather.
That card wasn't bad.
Or I maybe not. I remember the art of the card. It's very
No, wait. I'm thinking of the other Gargantric. Because there was 2. There was the promo and then there was the triple rare.
So I like this set. I don't have much to say about it because there's not too much in it that I'm really crazy about. More so, it was all about Dalton's hunt for Tsukikages.
Oh, God.
Dalton bought so many packs. So many.
Bought so many. It was stupid. Because all I wanted, because I wanted to build ninjas at the time, I just needed the Tsukikages to complete the deck. Box after box after box after box with no Tsukikages. I'm just like, please save me. And the first Tsukikage I pulled, Jacob, do you remember what rarity it was?
It was an SP.
Yes, it was. That SP. Ooh. Ooh. And then the second one was a triple rare, and then I pulled another SP. And then I think the Buddy Rare didn't come until
later.
Golden.
Yep.
Until Perfect Packs, right? So yeah, I had 2 triples and then 2 SPs. So, it was a struggle.
Most standout card from the set for me was Yamagitsune. I was
because that's when you were in
at the time.
Skull Dragons, Skull Warriors,
and he was just as hard to pull as Tsukikage.
Skull Dragons, Darkness Dragons.
Please don't. I will say that 72 Pillars support in the set kind of blew. Like there were some good standout cards, but
it was more about the Wizards. It was
very much leading on the Wizard side. That set.
At the time, it was all about that Tsukikage, man. Whew. Eventually, I've been a seasoned vet, and then Grandfather Clock kind of took over that spot for Cyber Ninja Squads for me. But Tsukikage holds that special place in my heart.
What's your rating for this set?
It would be higher than what I'm going to rate it, but for the fact of how much pain I've gone through with it, I have to give it an 8. It would have been a 9.5, but so much, man. So much suffering.
I'm going to give it a 7. I'm going to knock a point off what you had because one of the triple rares is a ninja that's really, really basic, and he's an SP, and I don't like the fact that he's one of the SPs.
You know what's funny?
And that's it.
You know what's funny about that?
What?
That was my actual first SP. I'm pretty sure my first SP that I pulled in Buddy Fight was that size 3 ninja that had nothing really to it. Now, whatever his name was. If you guys remember what the card is, it's a size 3. I can tell you that much.
It's just got like double attack move for a bust. Really basic.
Very.
Also, let's not forget that the Buddy Rare in this set was Martial Arts Emperor Dragon Emperor Martial
Dual Seeker. Congratulations.
Which moves us into the first extra booster
Immortal
Entities.
Ooh. It had a box topper, right?
It had a few. It had like the Katana like monster and item that like somehow comboed together.
Yep.
Or something.
Were there wasn't flags, right?
Maybe Ancient World flag since it was new. The two standout cards they were pushing in the set were Dual Seeker Tempest Enforcer,
obviously,
and Sunfist Sunshine Impact, which at the time was actually really good. It was a little too generic for its time, but it was a really solid card.
When was Legend World introduced?
Not yet. Darkness Fable. You're jumping way ahead.
Just double checking, man.
So, I like this set. I got into it when it first came out, and I was the first person in our group to really try and build Dual Seeker, which was funny because Dalton pulled a lot of the cards first, and then I'm like, I want to try this. And then you're like, Wild Dragons are a thing. I'm going to try that.
I thought I built Dual Seeker first, and then you were like, I want this. I'm like, all right, here you go.
No, you like started to build it and then never finished it, and I finished it. The big standout cards, though, were Dragon Emperor Legend, Absolute Legend card, and Divine Dragon Creation. Still two amazing cards that have aged pretty well.
Yeah, you could say that. You know, sure, they're not being used as much as they used to be, but, you know, they're still out there. I say that mainly because of my Ancient World deck right now, but that's besides the point.
Also, the first Buddy Rare I ever pulled came from this set. And it was shortly after I started playing the game. Within like 2 weeks, I pulled a Buddy Rare of the Buddy Rare in the set, Thunder Knight's Drumbunker Dragon, which led to my love of Thunder Knights, which I still play to this day.
I don't know why. They're not good.
Ouch.
They're not
Ouch.
good, man. It's the truth. I just had to hit you with the truth.
Ouch.
I don't really have a standout card or anything like that.
That
Anything
kind of
major with it. It was there.
What's your rating?
Gonna give it an 8. It was there. It was still nice to pull from and so forth. No, we'll give it a 7. Give it a 7 just because I wasn't. Now kind of looking back at it, and like I truly wasn't interested in it. I was really just pulling for everyone else, I guess.
So for me, at the time, I would have given it like a 9 because it was such a good set to be your first set if you're jumping into the game. It was so easy to build Ancient World from it.
Mm-hmm.
And Ancient World was really good, you know, until like 2 weeks later when they printed the Dungeon World trial deck, which had Rolling Stone in it.
It was fun.
Which was really funny. But nowadays, I'd say it's probably like a 5 or 6, purely because every good card from that set's been reprinted to oblivion. Especially on the Ancient World side. The only high rarity card I believe that hasn't been reprinted is Lattice, who got retrained instead. Every other one has been reprinted.
Yeah. That's true. He's been retrained, twice, technically?
Something like that.
If you want to count the Impact Monster variant and the Chaos variant.
So I'm going to move us into the next one.
Drum's Adventure.
Drum's Adventure is...
Adventures.
I might be a little blocked by my 4 years of nostalgia for this set, but I'm going to tell you right now, it is my favorite Buddy Fight booster set. And that's with a huge asterisk. I'm going to say it right now. This set has the worst card ever in it. And I hate it. And I kind of wish I'd grabbed my copy to bring it over. Barbarish Anger is an impact monster. Impact monster. Oh, no.
Whoa!
Impact in this set that's just straight up a worse Gargantua Punisher that was printed at Double Rare. And oh, by the way, it was an SP2. And it is consistently been for the longest time the cheapest SP in all Buddy Fight. I remember looking on eBay after I pulled my first, because yes, first, and they were selling for 45 cents. Ouch. And that's when they were new.
Ouch, man. Ouch.
And this isn't a set filled with expensive SPs.
Mm-hmm. I'm still missing an SP from that set.
Then I pulled a second one.
Another one.
And to this day, that is the only SP I've ever pulled from that set. And I pulled 2 of it.
Ouch.
Yeah. But good stuff. Introduced Dungeon World besides, their trial deck.
Mm-hmm.
Supported some really cool stuff for Magic World, introducing Drago Wizards.
Yep.
It gave us the resting deck for Kachina World, like with Yatagarasu.
Was he in there?
Yeah, he was. And it introduced Thunder Knights. And this was the defining set of Season 1's meta for Buddy Fight, which was, in its infancy. But Season 1's meta was Thunder Knights, Adventurers, or you're not playing competitive Buddy Fight. That's it. They were both incredibly strong for their time. And I played both of them.
Sounds about right. So the only SP I'm missing from this set is Brave Drum for my drum line. I already have the Thunder Knights SP. I have the Drago Wizard SP. It's that Brave one that's very elusive for some reason. I don't know why. Honestly, I don't think I bought that much of this set, surprisingly, even though drums plastered all over it. Nothing really intrigued me. Magic Worlds I didn't care about at the time until much later. So I don't really have much to say outside of the SPs because I was really kind of going for them just because I wanted to do the drum line at the time. Still am. So it's kind of hard for me to say anything bad or good about it, I guess.
Overall, I liked it. I thought it was one of the most experimental sets Buddy Fight ever did. It had Shinshigumis in it, which were really cool. You had Gacha as a deck in it. You had a lot of really cool stuff in it. And it's still one of my favorite sets in Buddy Fight. And there are some absolutely ridiculously powerful cards for the time in the set, like Glory Seeker.
Oh, yeah,
Glory Seeker. Thunder Knight's Drum was really crazy good. The triple rare Shinshigumi, really good. There was a lot. Oh, and let's not forget, Dalton, our universal favorite neglected card, Wanderer the Gold.
Won't finish that sentence.
So I'm going to give this set a perfect 10. Honestly. That's just where I'm at right now. If you disagree, go ahead and disagree, but it is still my favorite set in all of Buddy Fight. There are a couple that get close that we'll get to later.
It's gonna have to be a 10 for me, man. I almost forgot about Wanderer. It's
That's
the only thing. It's the only thing that makes it worth it. No, it's probably like a 6, to be honest. Still looking back at it now, I still don't think I would even grab anything from it, even if it was coming out today and this is back then. None of this new stuff's out. I still don't think I would go for it.
I still think it's one of the best designed booster sets they've ever done, even with the focus on drum. Though I have to complain because Kachina World was in this set, and it was called Drums Adventures, and we didn't get a Kachina drum, and we never got one. So Garga had to pick up the slack 4 years later.
Sometimes Drum just realized he wasn't using a sword until Brave Drum. Because what, you still had the drill ram bunker. You had the staff and then the sword. So I guess it could have been worked in there, but I'm trying to remember in the anime. Because why did Drum go to the different worlds to go train?
Because he could.
Well, there was probably that. Drum, the original card that should have been, can be used in all flags.
I will also say, I did also pull the Buddy Rare from this set. I pulled the Buddy Rare. This was a while after it came out. It was a Buddy Rare of Armor Knight Cerberus Ace. Fantastic looking Buddy Rare. Just visually amazing. And I ended up trading it to Christian. I remember this. I traded it to our good friend Christian for Purgatory Knight stuff. Because they were brand new and I thought they were cool. Yeah. So I'm going to give it a rating, again, of 10. And you're going to give it a 6 still?
Yeah.
Okay.
It hasn't changed my mind.
All right. We're going to move on to next extra booster. This one's kind of special for me because this was the first booster set of Buddy Fight I ever opened sealed product for. Before it was all just packs for me.
Mm.
And I ended up buying a box of this set on eBay for whatever the retail price was, like $30 at the time. It was a little cheap.
Like that.
And the box ended up arriving damaged. Ooh. Like the entire box was bent in half. Right?
Are you being over dramatic here?
No.
Or?
Like physically, it looked like an L. 90-degree angle in it. So I ended up getting a full refund for it and then keeping the cards. So free damaged Buddyfight cards?
Okay.
It was a cool set. It was Dragon World and Danger World. Specifically, I like the box toppers because they're just flags, but they're foiled flags. And they never really did that, where they're just the plain flag, but foiled for the other worlds.
That's true.
And I kind of wish they would.
Yeah.
So the big focus was Armor Knight Ace, with
Aces.
Aces, yeah. With Demon Gorel as the sideshow. And on the Dragon World side, it was all about Blue Sky Knights.
Blue Sky Knights, yeah. Woo. Blue Sky Knights, man. They're still better than your Thunder Knights. That's all I have to say. You know what's funny? I'm missing my SP variant of Blue Sky Knights Drum Bunker Dragon. You still need that.
Go buy a whole bunch of boxes. They're really cheap.
Nah, that's too much work.
I don't know. I'm not super into this set, to be honest. I think it's a cool set, but it's not what I'm crazy into.
Really?
Yeah.
But your boy.
Armor Knight Asmodai is in this, and it's really funny.
Yeah, man. The hardest card to get in it. Also, same thing with its SP. Oh, you should start it like an Asmodai dance troupe. Call it that instead of like my drumline. So you could just collect all the Asmodai.
I'm pretty much there.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. You just need that Armor Knight, right?
Yeah. I thought it was a good set, honestly. I don't think it's great, though. I'm going to give it a 6.5 out of 10.
Giving it a 7.5. Yeah, Blue Sky Knights were my thing then, but I think it got outclassed later for various reasons we will talk about with the next set. But yeah, because the Buddy Rare was Demios, right?
The Buddy Rare is not Demios. It's
not?
No, it's Death Gaze, Death
Oh, you're right,
Gaze
you're
Dragon.
right, you're right, you're right.
You're skipping ahead again.
Yeah, see, things, man, things.
So the Buddy Rare is Death Gaze.
Yep.
Which I think I still have a copy of. I didn't pull it. I got it in a trade. Or I got rid of it at our last regionals. One of the two.
One of the five.
But I've been holding on to one for like 3 years.
I'm pretty sure I still have an SP.
It's a very cool looking SP.
Oh, yeah. One of the better SPs out there.
All right, so that leads us into Darkness Fable.
Wrath of the Punisher.
So if you guys weren't around when Darkness Fable came out, the point I got into the game, Darkness Fable was the newest set. It had like just came out a few weeks after I learned how to play.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's one word that described early Darkness Fable, it was shortages. Because it was impossible to find boxes. Oops.
And that's when they had the what should we call it? The flag box toppers, right? Or am I still ahead?
Yep.
Or am I still ahead?
Legend
or am I still ahead?
Dragon World.
Oh, I remember buying so many boxes. No, it wasn't a. Was it? Or was it a promo card thing?
Which one?
The flags.
The flags were box toppers.
Yeah.
So the set, good. It was only 3 worlds with generic, but there was a larger number of generic cards, but the main focus being on the 2 new worlds.
Yep.
And also this set had a big focus on SP spells, which are still really cool cards, and Dalton and I are both really big fans of them.
Oh,
Death Grip, Ragnarok.
Was it Ragnarok or Fimble? Yeah, it was Ragnarok. It was Ragnarok.
Is that it?
I'm pretty sure.
I think so.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yep, those two.
Also, lots of support for Actor Knights. That's cool. Your Gargantua Dragon was in this set.
Best card, man.
Big focus on... A lot of the focus in Legend World was kind of weird because you had Merlin, Arthur, and Excalibur for your big high rarity cards, and King of the Forest Zadahog. Whereas Dalton's favorite deck, their best card was a rare.
Yep. And that deck was outclassed after the 1 week I used it at a shop tournament. Oh, Grendel, when will you get your retrain? Oh, I remember. I bought so much of that at that local store just because I needed the flag. I didn't need any of the other cards. I just needed the flag. And you can't just buy the flag. They didn't sell singles or anything of Buddy Fight at the time, and they still don't. So the only way for me to get a Legend World flag, besides going online and buying it, it was getting a box, hoping and praying that my box hopper was the flag. So I bought too much, but not enough at the same dang time.
Oof.
And I finally got the flag. I played it, messed with you guys for a little bit, and the next set dropped, and I'm like, and my deck's done. It's been defeated. It's over. Okay.
It was a really fantastic set, though. Also, due to its scarcity as a set, some of the cards from it got really expensive.
Yeah,
the one that's still really rather expensive and virtually impossible to find is Jackknife Burn Energy.
Yeah, Burn.
Super hard to find card, which is a shame. That's a card that needs a reprint.
No.
Standout cards from that set for me. I always forget its name. Triple rare spell for Darkness Dragon World.
Devil Stigma.
Devil Stigma. Really great card. Fantastic card for its time. That's about it. I liked the set. Ironically, I didn't really play anything from this set. I just really appreciated it. Is that weird? Like, I tried to build a hero deck, and like, this is a terrible idea.
Something like that. Grendel, MVP. There was nothing too exciting. What was the buddy rare in this set?
The buddy rare was Damios.
That's right. Yeah, there was nothing really outside of Grendel at the time that was really extraordinary or anything like that. So, to me now, being a more seasoned vet, you know, there's obviously a lot more. But I'm more looking at it at the time what I would have rated it instead of what I would rate it now, I guess, just to give it the best rating. And it's probably only going to get a 6 out of me just because of Grendel.
I'm going to give it right around that same number, honestly. 6, 7, in that range. Now as a collector, I really like it, and I'd like to pick up some boxes because it is by far the most sought after.
They're still expensive boxes, too.
Field box. It's really hard to find, and every high rarity card besides the trash ones are still wanted, at least by someone.
No, Devil Sigma not as much since it has been reprinted. A lot of the cards now have been, well, I shouldn't say a lot, but a majority of the cards have been reprinted, except for my boy Grendel.
Okay, so we will move on now to Break to the Future. Let's talk. I'm just going to rapid fire some of the cool stuff in this set. That new knight item that's a dragon that you get Hyperion. Super Armor Dragon Drum.
Mm-hmm.
Water. Solomon's Great Barrier, 72 Pillars.
Death
Talica. Purgatory Knights. Art.
And wasn't this the first? No, I'm not jumping ahead. This was the first secret pack, right?
No, you're jumping ahead a little bit.
Am I?
Yes.
Darn. Are you sure?
Positive. Really, really fun set. There were a little bit of shortage problems with this set too, but not nearly as bad as the last one. I like this set. I like it a lot. I think it was a really well-balanced set, and it's probably the single best set of Knight support, or Dragon Knight support ever released. Hyperion was a game changer when it came out. And again, water support. Introduction of water, good. Introduction of art. Death Talica. Purgatory Knights.
I will make
Fantastic.
Death Talica great again someday.
Now, I don't remember what the buddy rare in this set was. It might, I believe it was.
I want to say it was Ozzy.
No, that's next set. It's either card burn.
No, you can't say the next set because the next set had multiple buddy rares.
It's either it's card burn or Captain Answer. I think it's
card
burn.
what?
Card burn.
You said card born the first time.
It's Jason.
It was card burn.
Yeah, it's card burn. Burn.
Yeah.
It's a good set. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10.
There was something about it might have been Neo Enforcer that I'm thinking of. Yeah, probably like a 9 for me because I remember running Super Armor Dragon Drum and Hyperion, so forth. Water at the time, it just needed more stuff, so I wasn't super intrigued. But I did keep my copies of the cards from then, obviously. Death Talica. Still needs another card. I don't know what. He just needs another card. But yeah.
Roxas in chat mentions that one double rare that's still like $8-10 a copy from the set, the Kachina World one.
Cat Shadow?
Yeah.
Which is funny because I don't even use it. Because, yes, the set spell for water. No. We're talking about sets, Dalton. Let's not go into that. Next set.
Next set is the Golden Buddy Pack. The first perfect pack in this set was controversial. First of all, if you notice, and if you look at a listing of it, you'll notice it says version E. That is because we got some cards added to the set from a dual deck for Dragon World, Legend World for Gao and Kiri that was never released here and instead was spread out between like 3 different sets and promos, and it was a mess. And as someone who was really interested in playing Asgard, I hated it. It was terrible. And it just felt like a spit in the face from Bushiroad. But as a positive, we did get a really cool foiling for Boomerang Dragon out of it.
Yes, it was technically a buddy rare because they all look the same.
Well, Japan never got that.
That's true, but I would have rather have had a normal one. I don't know. I guess I'm picky that way.
So
Boomerang.
The other reason it was controversial, and someone can fact check me, but I believe the ratio of buddy rares, because what they did with the set was you had all new cards, which were double rares, which they like knock off buddy rare look to them with no texture and a muted color palette. They looked okay, but you also had a chance at getting reprints from the past couple sets, the more iconic cards, as buddy rares.
Yep.
And this includes the only time we ever got an item as a buddy rare until X, which was Durandal. It took him until X to do that again. So if I remember correctly, they were really easy to get in Japan. I don't remember the exact ratio, but it was comically easy to get them.
Yeah.
And here, there were one per like 3-4 boxes. And the problem was almost all of the double rare cards were hot garbage.
Except for Boomerang.
There were a couple really standout ones.
All I remember is Boomerang. What other ones are you talking about?
Persian Knights, Lunacy
Oh,
Wound,
yep, my bad. I forgot about the Purgatory.
Aldwall.
Oh, yeah. Forgot about Aldwall. Those 3.
Also, at the time, Iceblade Asterix.
Yeah,
was
the size 3
pretty
variant,
good.
right?
Yeah. And the rest of them could be thrown into the trash. Also, we didn't get... one of the cards was cut out of the English set. We did not get the Amigo card.
Oh, that's right. Because of the whole issues, right?
No one really knows why, for sure. But it's really sad.
I wish we had Amigo.
I remember the only place... Because the community was still rather new.
There wasn't a new buddy rare in that set, was there?
There was Ozzy.
Oh, okay.
Ozzy was the new buddy rare. And maybe also Captain Answer? I don't remember how that worked.
Did Captain Answer get a buddy rare?
He did.
Oh.
I might be misquoting, but I'm pretty sure. So the thing with it is the community really was small at the time and not as organized as now. And the big meeting place to talk about things was the Buddy Fight Wiki. And I remember people on there, some of them who, are still active in the community today, you know who you guys are, just raging about how they screwed us over with this set. It is not a good set in English.
Somewhat.
That being said, I generally will pick up the buddy rares from this set anytime I see them. Because, they're pretty collectible, and there are some really cool ones.
That's true.
So I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10. The buddy rares are nice enough to make it that high, but if the buddy rares didn't exist, it would be a straight 0.
I have to give it a 5 because Boomerang is Boomerang and Tsukikage buddy rare. The one card I needed, But yeah, nothing too much. Nothing really else to say except segueing in to Neo Enforcers.
Neo Enforcer, the first booster set of Buddyfight 100. Our first ever season change for Buddyfight. And it kind of set the standard where you had a good mix between new cards and stuff to finish off the previous season.
And in our first secret pack set, right?
It is.
Oh, glorious.
I got the idea that I wanted to play Dragonine. I bought so many boxes, could not pull a single secret pack. They were legitimately, it's not like now where they're guaranteed per box. It was
they were actually good
booster boxes, roughly. There are 3 or 4 in a case. And
I think it was 4.
Only one person in our group could pull them.
It's your boy. I remember making fun of you each time. I'm like, hey, Jacob. You're like, no. I'm like, secret pack. Oh, Ozzy loved me back then, man.
And that's not even getting to the next secret pack, which you did even better with. We'll get to that. I'm going to describe Neo Enforcer as a mixed bag. Hero World support was a mixed bag.
Was there Hero World support in Neo Enforcer?
Yeah, this was the set that really pushed it. You had great cards like Hyper Energy and Call Super Machine, but the overall boss monsters they were pushing were not that interesting. OG Captain Answer was not super great. OG Card Burn was really, really, really inconsistent back then.
It's still inconsistent.
It was worse back then, though.
Oh, I know.
So they weren't really doing super much, but they were really cool. In this set, they were not meta relevant whatsoever, though.
No.
So then you had Ancient World with Raging Spirits,
Ooh.
which were a mixed bag. You had really cool cards. The big one being Billion Knuckle, who was one of the most expensive cards in the set. After Call Super Machine, it was the second most expensive double rare. And then you had Gang the King, who was hot garbage. And it was their triple rare. Dragon World was Crimson Battler stuff.
My boys.
Pretty cool, especially since they had just gotten a trial deck.
Right.
What was the 4th world supported? You remember? I'm going to pull it up. Stall.
Legend World.
Oh, yeah. Was it?
Yeah. Yeah.
What was supported?
Yeah.
Stars.
Yeah.
It was Stars.
I couldn't remember.
It was Stars, and they were pretty decent. I built them, and then they never worked for me. Dalton couldn't get them to work. Luck.
No, it's funny because you didn't have everything for them, which was fair enough. And, we were testing them out, and you were just getting stupid frustrated. And back in the day, Dalton being the extra god he was back then, be like, all right, give me your deck. You play with my deck, because my deck was most likely completed, because I had all the cards for it. It's like, all right, you ready? Turn 1, get Frozen Star on board, or whatever the set spell was called, get it completely procced, and then Jacob just sat there crying like, why? Why work for me?
Right. At that time, I tried to get them to work. I was also trying to get Raging Spirits to work, and they weren't very good.
Mm-hmm.
It took a little more support to get them to be relevant, and they were for a little while.
I think we might want to speed this up. I feel like it's almost been an hour.
Oh, yeah.
We should probably. We're only like
Right.
season 2.
Neo Enforcer was a mixed bag, 5 out of 10.
6 out of 10 because Crimson Battlers. Next, Miracle Impact.
Really clever set for its time, but has aged
Clever name.
very, very poor.
Yes. At the time, probably a 6 for me because I didn't buy much. I didn't start buying more of it until more recently, like last year, I should say, because there were certain cards I wanted to get out of it. That's all I'll say.
So the impacts for everyone was a good thing because impacts were very underutilized.
Remember, faster.
And it had secret flags.
Yes, the first introduction to Secret Flags.
And that's
Ryuga.
nowadays literally the only thing worth anything from the set.
Yeah, that's why I bought
Like, your triple rares are just like,
yeah, toss away.
whatever.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10, though, for creativity.
I'm looking at the next set, and now I remember why you said that. Didn't I give it like a 6? Yeah, I think I gave it a 6 for Miracle Impact. But Galaxy Burst. What was the secret pack in this?
Yamigeto.
Ooh.
Believe it or not, Yamigeto was interesting back then, and people wanted it, and it was actually worth money.
Even though they didn't support it well at all.
Nope. But we didn't know that yet.
We didn't know that until we realized, oh, ouch.
So, introduction of Star Dragon World, and big focus on Omni Lords. We forgot to mention Tenbu was in the last set, but this is where it really started.
What's Tenbu in Miracle Impact?
No, in
Neo Enforcer?
Neo Enforcer.
Okay.
And now with this set, we get a switch to the triple rare foiling to the
lines.
And Star Dragon World introduced, and even though I'm not a big fan, it was a pretty good jumping off point. Star Dragon
Byakuya was in there too.
Variable Court, Ziyun's in it, and Count Dawn's in it.
Yep.
And that's all we got to say.
Yep. Shadow versus Hero.
Wait, rating.
Oh.
6 out of 10.
7 out of 10 because Byakuya, because that's when I was really into ninjas. And Gojimaru, that's right. Gojimaru was in there, right?
Yep.
Yes, definitely a 7 then.
Shadow versus Hero absolutely broke Buddy Fight.
It broke Buddy Fight in the understanding of the game broken. Because once people understood Hero World more, Hero World became less relevant. But, because what? It came out right before our regionals, right?
Yeah, shortly before. And a couple weeks before. There were a couple regionals in between.
Like
ours.
2 or 3.
Kaiserion was unstoppable.
And that was mainly because people didn't understand the deck. I mean, the opposing player didn't understand how to counter the deck.
But even if you did, there weren't great counter options yet. We'll get to them very soon.
Mm-hmm.
But the set was really strong. Dark Heroes were clunky at the time. But the big
Same
thing,
situation as Stars.
Kaiserion was, at that point, the most broken card ever released in Buddy Fight.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at some of the cancer in X, that people point to, Chaos, Thunder, Empire. Kaiserion's up there at that same level.
Back at that time.
Yeah. Kaiserion was absolutely game-breaking. And, that's all.
What would you rate it?
I will give it a 7.
At the time, I'm going to give it a 3 because I didn't care about Hero World as much, but I have grown to love. Next, Lord of 100 Thunders.
Really poorly designed set with not a single card in it besides the secret flags being worth a damn. 2 out of 10.
1 out of 10. We'll move on.
You know what? I'm changing my rating to 1 out of 10. This set is in the rankings for one of the worst sets ever released. 100 Demon Generals were a little cool at the time, but they aged
the Dragon,
so bad.
The Dragon World one was really cool. And I think it's still could work in a deck if you can build it right. But that's
Now we move on to Jacob's second set in contender for best Buddy Fight set of all time.
Salts of the Underlord. Barbed Wire, 5th Omni Drum,
Knights,
Burn Nova, Knights,
Osbrodai.
It changed the meta, made the game better. It stopped Hero World.
Barbed Wire. Fantastic set. Seriously, like 10 out of 10 in every regard. Really well designed, and every single deck in it was good. So, yeah, I like it.
9 out of 10.
It was also the first booster set that Dalton and I bought
A case?
mass boxes of.
What? No, it was half
About
a case.
half a case.
Half a case.
Next is Buddy All Stars. Another.
Whoa. What would you rate it?
I did. I
Oh,
gave
you
it a
did?
10.
I wasn't sure. I thought you were just saying it has 10s in all the aspects, but you were going to give the real rating. All right. Buddy All Stars. Buddy All Stars. Buddy. SDs. Chibi forms. Deformed forms.
The only problem with this set is it was another set where they threw extra things in from Japan. Mainly there was like a triple deck thing, and a lot of the cards from it, like that new Burn Nova, the new Jackknife, and whatnot, they were thrown in as triple rares, and they were very clearly not good enough to be triple rares.
Yeah.
Other than that, fantastic set, and it was one of the first sets to really do reprints.
Mm-hmm.
It had Divine Dragon Creation, which desperately needed a reprint.
Still at double rare, right?
Yeah. Really good set. I like it quite a bit. 8 out of 10. 8.5 out of 10.
7 out of 10. Because what else was it? What were the... I don't remember much of the draw cards to it, but yeah. I think SD Drum was in there, right?
Yeah. Also, Art of Body Duplication Osmodai,
Oh, that's why.
who's still played to this day.
Mikado's Evolution. Because, we want to speed it up. We want to get through more than just 2 seasons.
Very interesting set, but did not do much to the meta.
Didn't.
Danger World stuff was never meta from it. Like, Grangadez had, like,
It was kind of meta.
2 regionals where it was relevant.
Yeah, because it was also the same with Osmodai.
Yeah.
Because they were kind of like the size 3 thingies.
The new Kaiser Drum, really good standalone card, but the deck wasn't really relevant yet.
No, 5th Omnis were relevant.
It was close.
No,
yeah.
5th Omnis were relevant.
Aster,
It's Jackknife. What was the secret pack?
Aster.
Oh.
Yeah.
For some reason, I had very bad luck in pulling that. And bad luck, I mean, I actually pulled it.
The most interesting stuff was in Darkness Dragon World. We got Jinx. Lots of Spectral Strike support. That was really good. And we had...
Please bring back Spectral Strike.
We had the Gate Guiders.
Oh, yeah.
So, good stuff there.
All right.
7. 6. 6.5.
7. Now, Terror of the Inverse Omnilords.
Guaranteed Buddy Rare in every box. See Perfect Pack 1? That's how you do it.
The only good thing to come out of this set right here are the Inverse Omnilords and Morikuro. That's all I have to say.
Also, what is his name? Okada is in it.
Okada.
The wrestler dude.
I'm sorry, I'm not Christian.
It's a cool set. I like it, and like when we're at regionals and stuff, I still grab a box every time. It's good stuff.
Just because you're collecting.
I do like the Inverse Omnilords. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10.
I'm giving it a 6, just because Morikuro, man. Oof. All right, now we got to do a little speedrun on Triple D, huh?
Triple D Booster Set 1, we bought a full case of it.
Unleash the Impact Dragon. I'm giving it a 6. I don't remember much of it. Are you sure we bought a case of this?
We did, and we opened a lot of boxes on cam.
Are you sure you're not getting that confused with the Climax?
Yep. So you had Buddy Rares for Osmodai, Ball, and Jackknife, who's now in Star Dragon doing his own thing, and good stuff. You had Hagakugan Yamigeto as the secret pack, which was a throwaway secret pack, honestly. Bad stuff. Sorry.
Yeah.
And Darkness Dragon World introducing Mill Black Dragons.
Yep.
Really nice, well-rounded set. They did change it, so you had a guaranteed Buddy Rare per pack, but they got
per pack. You mean per box?
Per box, but they got rid of SPs. They no longer existed,
which was stupid. But
yeah, I don't really like that, to be honest. But the guaranteed Buddy Rare was nice. I like them. I like the set quite a bit. I'll give it a 7.5.
I don't remember Osmodai having a Buddy Rare in that set for some reason.
I have 5 of them.
I just said I don't remember. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. Buddy Rave, we don't talk about that one.
Buddy Rave was a trash set. Superheroines are cool, and the rest of the set is absolute hot garbage.
It wasn't even that. It was more of the fact that Bushi screwed themselves. Because this was the first alternate booster pack.
And it was a terrible one. Also, ride changes are cool. The Hero World stuff in it was cool, but the big problem was how stuff was diverse.
The pull ratio was so off. It was just horrible. Like it was stupid.
And any set with a focus on Dragonine is a bad set. Because you had the Dragonine and Jackknife decks thrown in, and their cards were, again, way too high rarity. And the triple rare of the new Ozzy looked almost identical to the Buddy Rare, making the Buddy Rare like completely pointless.
Yep.
4 out of 10.
No, I have to give it a 1. Just because it was an alternate booster. And probably being one of the worst alternate boosters. Next set, Roar Incredible Dragon. I have to give it an 8. I'm going to say that right away because Dual Jaeger.
Dual Jaeger was very cool. And
because I was playing Dual Jaeger at the time.
And he was relatively easy to build.
Yeah, very easy to build.
You had the new Impact Monster for Darkness Dragon, the one that mills 10.
Yep.
I forget its name, the new Abigail. You had...
Not Smash, Lariat.
No.
Ball.
Yes, maybe?
Yes, the wrestling one. Yeah. The one that basically can target the same card multiple times. And it was part of the self-milling, recycling.
And that was honestly about it. That was interesting. Like, there wasn't much of interesting, but what was in there that was interesting was really cool.
Wait, where did Shadow Shades go? Were Shadow Shades in the first set?
Yes.
Okay. I couldn't remember.
So this one...
Because the next set...
rating on Roar Invincible, whatever.
Roar Invincible Dragon.
I'll give it a 5.5, honestly.
So, did you say 8 or 7?
You said
7.
8.
I meant 7. Okay. 4 dimensions. Executioners, Guardians, Zodiac.
And other random things. And weirdly, a Buddy Rare for Burn Nova?
Yeah, because D-Wing was in there. No. Yeah, it was the reprint, right?
Yeah, of Burn Nova, and they gave him a Buddy Rare for some reason.
No, which is cool, whatever.
It's an okay set. It's, again, a little too messy.
It's a little too messy. Pull ratios weren't as bad as the first alternate booster. This was probably arguably one of the best alternate boosters. Surprising.
Guardians and Executioners make this set. If they were not in it, it would be a pretty bad set.
If they weren't in it, they'd be in their own set.
But they're so good and they're so well designed for their time that they made up for any fault with them. So I'll give it a 7.
Zodiac just needed to be better. I still feel Zodiac can be better, but that's the point. I have to give it an 8 for my Executioner boys. Self-milling for days, baby.
Annihilate, Great Demonic Dragon. The set that, to this day, I have never bought a single pack of.
What was the secret pack?
There was a secret. Oh, it was Dragon's Y. It's first. And this set also reintroduced SPs because they were gone for some reason for a while.
I can't remember the thing because I know I bought this set. It has to get an automatic 4. I can't remember anything about it.
It was kind of substandard. It was all about the new Dragon Force for Dragon World. And
because was it Roar Invincible Dragon? No, because Star Dragon and Dragon World came out at the same time, right? And Darkness Dragon World came out second.
Yeah.
So it had the Star Dragon and original Dragon Force. Dragon Force.
It's an okay set, honestly, but I never had much interest in it. So I'm going to give it a 5.
I'm still sticking with my 4. Next set, Shine Super Sun Dragon.
I'm just going to go out and say I think this set's pretty good.
You had Zeta. You had Size 3 Mazeria, non-Omnilord variant. You had the Darkness Dragon, Will Dragon Force, Bal Soleil, original.
Also Gaito. As
was he a card?
Adventurer.
Oh, that's right. I have to say,
and traps. Don't forget traps. I think Roxas would murder us if we didn't mention.
Hey. We talk about the secret pack of traps once we get our ratings out because it's a whole set. Oh wait. Bushi, why'd you do this to us? Why didn't you give us a trap secret pack? That would have been... you missed out on something there. So that docks you a point.
So I would typically give this set an 8. I really enjoyed it, and there was really good value in this set. But in actuality, it gets a 0 because it introduced Ozins.
Which is automatically counterbalanced with traps, because traps themselves are like an 11. So I have to give it an 8 myself. Traps, first off. Zeta, which was cool and kind of busted at the same time.
Soleil, best card in the set.
Ball Soleil changed up a lot of things. Oh, wait, is that it? Oh, I clicked onto the thing. That's all I can really say, right? Nothing else?
It's good.
Yeah.
So then we move on to the last set of Triple D, the Climax Booster.
That I remember getting a case of.
We bought a case from Frost Giant Games. They gave us an amazing deal back then. We still are grateful for that now. Mm-hmm. And they gave us a back room in their old store because they moved to open them and record all of them. And we only ended up getting like 5 of them recorded for you guys because they shared that building. And we were like in the 6th box doing the opening. And suddenly music started blasting because apparently right next to the room we were recording in, some guy had like a recording studio.
Yeah. And they were recording, and we were just like, oh, okay.
So, and then we just had to open the rest of the boxes off cam.
Yeah, fortunately.
Pretty cool set. It had like new Dragon Forces for each of the 3. The Darkness Dragon World one's definitely the weakest of the 3.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Honestly, none of the Darkness Dragon World cards really saw any play, as far as I can think. The Star Dragon World stuff saw a ton of play, and the Sun Dragon stuff was average. But the set had really good reprints, so it gets a plus for that. Death Grip with its fantastic nut art.
Gotta give it the 6.
I'm gonna give it a 7. I think it's worthy of that, mostly because I really like the high rarity stuff. I thought the Buddy Rares looked really cool, and the secret flags, which they had in it, of Star Dragon World and Dragon's Y, I want to say. Maybe Darkness Dragon. I don't remember. I think all 4 had one.
I think so, too. All right. Moving on to X. The start of Cancer. Right? Is that fair to say? The start of Cancer?
To be fair, the Cancer doesn't really start yet. It does, but there's a curve. And first booster set, once again, we continue the trend of finishing the last season. So you had Dragon's Y stuff, which was decent.
Yep.
You had Prism Dragon's introductions, which they weren't super great yet, but they were decent.
Right, and Onis were...
Onis were introduced, and they were pretty good right off the bat.
Yep.
And you had Thunder Knights.
And Jaeger.
Thunder Knights. Jaeger, which was really good, and you had Thunder Empire, which was way too strong for its own good, even off the bat. Just the new bots was too good for most decks from Triple D to handle, and Bots X-Link was... Well, you guys know. It's Bots X-Link.
Yeah. It was stupid expensive, too. Ugh.
Balance-wise, the set honestly was not super great.
Because Onis took the cake out of that one, because not even the Dragon World variant of Thunder Empire did anything. It was really Onis, because Onis just had so many amazing cards to start off with, and that's their biggest downfall for Onis, in my honest opinion, but we'll get into that later.
Of the first booster set of a season, like comparing all of the new season's first sets, this is the one I bought the least of. And I liked it the least.
That's because you didn't get into Prisms right away.
Right, and even then, it was just because, well, I have to play something.
Right,
you know?
Right.
It's not one of my favorite sets. I'm going to give it a 5.5.
At the time, because what was the deck? I have to give it a 7 because I was really big into Onis then. 7.
So now we move into Crossing Generations, the set that proves that Buddy Rave isn't the only mistake in Buddy Fight.
It's a 2.
I'll give it a 4 just because that new ball was really good.
Ball Style Impact?
Yep.
Style
He's
of Impact?
really good. He's always been good, and he saw play in Neo's Y. He saw play in Sun Dragons. He's good.
Yeah.
And I suppose a couple of the cards were really interesting, but most of the set was not worth it.
Wait. I have to reevaluate
His drum?
the rating. No. It's what came out in Crossing Gens.
It was all Star Dragon World and Dragon World.
Okay, what out of Star Dragon World?
Osmo Dragoons.
Yes, sir.
The cool archetype.
That has to bump it up to an 8.
Yeah, they're the only thing worth really getting from this set.
That's Cosmo Dragoons. Honestly. Yeah, the drum was there too.
Yeah, but he wasn't super relevant. Later drums were way better.
Yeah.
So, did we give ratings for that?
Yeah.
one? Okay.
You gave it a 4, I gave it a 2, and then I remembered Cosmo Dragoons, and I'm like, oh, that's an 8. Chaos Control Crisis. Daryl.
Chaos Control Crisis broke Buddy Fight. And what was weird was it did not break it right away. When
It was a slow break.
It was a slow break because, honestly, it was one of the more complicated sets we've gotten.
Mm-hmm.
And it took people a while to figure things out, especially Chaos.
Oh, yeah.
So it had Darkness Dragon World support with Dark Ritual in it.
Oh, yeah. Oof.
Good stuff.
More Cosmo Dragoons support.
More Cosmo Dragoons. Some Asterism Effect was probably the standout Star Dragon World card.
Yeah. Chaos was fully introduced now?
Yeah.
Right? Yep. Daryl, which was busted, still is busted.
I remember really liking it at the time,
Yeah.
but my opinions on it have definitely soured.
This is true.
I think the big thing is value-wise, it was and still is a pretty good set. But other than that, I don't really like it. Thematically, I don't really like it. Yeah.
I have to give it a 7 for Daryl. I really like Daryl, and it was kind of like the introduction of a card that doesn't, well, the second introduction of card, because Spot 6 Link was the first one, where it's meant for one thing, but it's generic, so you can use it in other decks in that world, or its actual world in that case. What would you rate that?
I'm going to give it a 4.5.
Okay.
And I think the only thing that keeps it that high is the fact that you could consistently make your money back on a box.
Mm-hmm.
Evolution and Mutation, that's a set that proves that I can do messy sets way better than Buddy Rave or Crossing Generations. Evolution and Mutation is really unique because the cards in it are really good and really well designed and really good.
It was a good combination for an alternate booster. The only bad piece was the pull ratios.
The set was a mess.
It was,
The set was, of all the alternate boosters, this set was the messiest. And there were some really weird things. Well, why not give Purgatory Knights a secret pack when you can give them 2?
Two of them things?
They got 2 secret packs.
Two of them things? I'm pretty sure Evil Deity Dragon's got one.
Yep.
Fifth Omni's got one.
Yep.
Those were the 4, right? Was there a 5th? Don't think so.
I don't know. I can't keep.
There was 2 Yeah, that's right.
Abigail got one.
Dang, there was 5 of them.
It was messy, and I did not buy much of this set. Not because the cards weren't good, because they were. There were a lot of really standout cards in the set, but
He just noticed how frustrated I was getting when I was getting boxes. He's like, oh, I don't want to suffer.
and I feel bad for anyone trying to play Purgatory Knights. Oh,
Mm.
sure, you got a couple good reprints, but Geist Damios are probably one of the hardest cards in the game to consistently get a full playset of if you're just opening packs.
That's true. That is so true. I have to give it an 8 because Drum and Fifth Omni's got better. And, no. Because the other, were there 6? Because I'm pretty sure Yamigeto got a secret pack, right?
I don't know, man. Oh, also, that's the other thing. They reprinted Yamigeto a second time. We brushed over the fact that he already got reprinted.
Yeah.
He got reprinted a second time, the second time at Triple Rare. And the first one was under like a nickel.
Yeah. But
So,
100 Demons actually became a competitive deck after this.
that was the second
For the brief time.
the second the second reprint of Yamigeto is probably the worst Triple Rare ever printed in Buddy Fight.
Sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so next up, another alternate booster. Level Up, Heroes versus Adventurers.
Which I think
Heroes
was,
and Adventurers.
which I think was a little bit more fair, in my honest opinion. You know, it seemed more balanced. It felt like you can get all the cards. It didn't seem stupid with its pull ratios. But again, it's an alternate booster, which docks it points. It should have just been the two separate things that it was. 6 out of 10.
I thought it was relatively fine, especially compared to all the other alternate boosters. It's probably the best one they've done. The thing is, like, there's a very different appeal to the two sets that it's merged from. The Hero World stuff, really fun. I liked Netman quite a bit. Satsuki support was decent. Brave Machine Hanger is in it. Good stuff. But the Dungeon World stuff was a huge mix bag. You had stuff like Bonus Quest, but then you have like 25 cards that will never, ever, ever be played.
Yep, that sounds about right.
But it was okay. And the ERs, the introduction of ERs, pretty nice.
Yeah, the ERs were quite nice. The weirdest secret pack ever, though. Like, you couldn't do anything with the Gao in the secret pack, guys. Come on.
It's like almost exactly the same.
No, it is the same. The only difference, I think, might be the texture on the foiling.
Or a little bit of gold on one of the areas.
No, all that's the same. I think it's just the foiling.
So next is Overturn. Wait, did we give ratings?
I gave it a 6. You didn't give it anything yet.
I'll give it a 6, too.
All right.
6.5.
All right, next set. Booster set 3. Overturn Thunder Empire. The beginning of the end, number 2. Because now Thunder Empire
thought
fan.
Power Creep and Chaos Control Crisis was bad.
It's even worse because everyone understood everything in this one this time. It wasn't a slow break. It was like, bam. And dual golems.
So positives, dual golems.
Dual golems. Set Abigail.
Set Abigail, even though I thought a lot of it was irrelevant.
Yeah.
It was clearly like tacked on as the last thing they cared about in the set.
Mm-hmm.
The Chaos support was really good support, but it's Chaos, and that's kind of a problem. And the Thunder Empire stuff
was really good.
Was really good support, but that's the problem. Thunder Empire was the standout thing for the set, though.
Definitely.
It's
I have to give it a 6.5 just because of dual golems.
Yeah, I'd say dual golems are the best part of it.
They were the sleeper in that set for sure. Like, I think everyone slept on them, and then they eventually crept up and were like, surprise! We're good. We're good.
I will give it a 6.
Fair. Rainbow Strikers.
Rainbow Striker had Prism Dragon stuff, the only good set of Prism Dragon support.
Mm-hmm.
It had more Cosmo Dragons.
Yep.
It had Leviathan.
Yes.
It had Dragon World stuff that was meh.
Mm-hmm.
It had more Knight support, including new items.
Yep.
And that's the set.
Yep. Sounds about right.
So let me just go right out and say it. It's a good set. Dalton, I don't think liked it as much as I did, but it's probably my favorite set of X. Particularly Athora stuff was really well designed for its time. Even though it was probably a little too powerful, but it quickly got pushed out. Leviathan stuff, fantastic. One of the best designed, unique archetypes in Buddy Fight.
Yes.
And I'm glad it exists. Even though I've never played it, and I'm not interested in it.
Have you played against it?
Kind of.
Okay.
I just like the fact that it exists. And the Dungeon World support was really, really good.
Mm-hmm. What did you rate it?
I'll give it a 7.5.
5. Because at that point, I started hating Prisms at the same time. So Prisms kind of came onto my radar as a Jackknife 2.0. So, and the only good thing out of Star Dragon World is Cosmo Dragoons and potentially Astro Dragons. But we have to see how they pan out for this season. Ready for the next?
Driven to Disorder.
10 out of 10.
I'll give it a 9 out of 10.
It's a fantastic set, but it also breaks the game too.
Auto Deities got introduced, and Chaos got a lot of support, including a card that was like almost immediately put onto the newly introduced regular list, that new Star Dragon World one.
Yeah. The spell searcher. I was supposed to say searcher.
No, fantastic set though, and the concept of being able to get 2 secret packs was really refreshing. Mm-hmm. And the way the secret packs were done, where it was, like a hero one and a villain one, really clever.
Yep.
Auto Deities were definitely the standout thing from the set, though.
True.
But the rest of it was pretty good, too. I liked it. Also,
Overturn Miseria.
Overturn Miseria. Best card. Or was that in Rainbow Striker?
No, that was in this one. I'm pretty sure.
Was it in... It was in Rainbow Strike.
Was it? No, because you had a bots in there too. Because it was in the secret pack. Because you had bots.
It was in.
You had Osmodai, bots, right? Chat, go. Fact check me. Make sure I'm right. I don't want to be wrong.
Missouri was in Rainbow Striker.
Darn it.
So +1 to both of our ratings for Rainbow Striker.
Yep.
No, but this set is really good. I like it. Plus, there's another Osmodai in it, even though I think it's one of the least relevant Osmodais they've released. Overturn Osmodai.
Yeah.
Also, Overturn Satsuki's in this set.
Uh-huh.
Really cool, really well-designed card.
What was the secret pack in Rainbow Striker?
Rainbow Striker had a Prism Dragon one, Thunder Empire one. And,
I guess, yeah, it was in the Thunder Empire one.
And
okay.
Whatever the last one was.
Okay.
To continue.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think it's a good set.
Mm-hmm. All right. Ready for the next one. New World Chaos.
I'm very torn on this set.
Pluses. Retrains with Omnilords. Minus. 1,000. Plus. Trying to remember other stuff.
5-World Builder stuff.
5-World Builder stuff. There we go.
Which we finally got. Oh.
Neg. Thunder Empire support. Right?
Big thing was Chaos stuff.
Yeah. Plus. Plague. Minus. Not much plague.
Oh, let's not forget that this set had some printing issues with a lot of the high rarity cards. Almost every one of them are on the list of cards like they'd exchange and stuff. It was messy.
It was something else.
I think it's weird though, because when you look at it, it's meant to be a Chaos set that they tacked other stuff onto.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Chaos set, and of the Chaos archetypes, you had the introduction of Plague, which were okay. You had Dual Golem support, which was eh.
Mm-hmm.
You had Oni support, which was eh.
Mm-hmm.
You had vanilla Chaos support, which was overpowered with a few cards, but the majority of it was eh.
Mm-hmm.
You had Auto Deities, which were outright bad.
Bad by as in they were good, but they were bad.
They were bad compared to what Auto Deities already had.
Oh, wait. I was back a set. My bad.
And Leviathan.
Which was good.
Which was good. The new weapon was probably the best card for Chaos, besides that draw spell, which is pretty cancer. I do not like this set. Even though it has Osmodai in it and some really, really cool reprints from 5-World Builders, I really don't like this set.
It's the only reason why I'm giving it a 5. It's the Omnilords.
It gets a 4 from me.
Come on, that Xeon, man. Oof.
The other thing, this set, and I guess you can say that same for Driven to Disorder, fueled one of the biggest burnouts I've ever had from Buddyfight. Because you get 4 straight sets of support of filler stuff, end of season stuff, and legacy support. And I got sick and tired of it, especially that last one.
Oh, yeah. So much of the legacy.
So let's see how that went. Buddy Legends.
Buddy Legends. Yummy Ghetto, man. Bossole. Oh.
And a whole bunch of jank.
I can't remember. Impact was reprinted in this, right?
Yeah.
Ball Impact, Style of Impact.
No, I think it was Solar Strife.
Yeah, I think you're right. What else came out of Legends?
There was some Dragons-wise stuff. The problem is this set and Solar Strife so much blur together.
Oh, that's true.
Really bad. Oh. And it was so hard to distinguish between them. And there are some cards that are so obviously like these were meant to go together, and they were just spread out between the two.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of that in these sets. There's also a lot of totally irrelevant legacy support in both of them. And not only that, you've just got some weird choices for support. Like, why give a tiny bit of support to Prism Dragons, in the first set and then nothing in the second set, but they only got like 3 cards in the entire set. Why include them at all at that point? You know why? Because anime.
Fair. And they were also bad pull rates. I think mainly in Strife. Mainly because I was looking for my Chieftain Fist Drum. I got 1 copy. 5 more to go.
Both of them really got on my nerves, especially after the past 2 sets before them. We went essentially 4 booster sets without a real main booster set of simple support. All 4 of them were at least somewhat messy.
Yep.
Buddy Legends gets like a 6, I guess. It's okay. Nothing. Also, it was just nothing really special. We were all like, oh, okay, it's another set.
Yeah, I have to give it a 5. Strife, I have to give a 6 because drum, right?
Yeah.
Because drums.
Again, they blur together.
Yeah,
Strife had more of a focus, though, on Suns again, of course.
Suns,
and then
Y,
which I have to say the Y support was really good, and the rest of the set's kind of forgettable.
It was a lot more. It was definitely a legacy support set, which was cool, but not cool.
Strife has one of my favorite reprints of all time, the Sunshine, Sunfist, whatever reprint or retrain.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah. Chieftain Drum. The retrains to Drago Wizard, Brave, and Blue Sky Knights.
As a standalone set in a vacuum, I think Solo Strife is a really good set.
Yeah.
But having come out after 3 sets that were essentially the same thing as it, it was really tiring. And that's really sad because it is some of the coolest retrains ever. We got a gotcha retrain, something you and I have wanted for years.
You want to know what's funny about that retrain?
They messed up the name?
Yes, because it's gotcha. It's not the gotcha whatever it's supposed to be. Like gotcha quotations. What was in quotations?
Something. Also, Magician Drum, Thunder Knights Drum, and Brave Drum, all from my favorite booster set, all got retrains in this set. As did Glory Seeker, I think.
Yep, Glory Seeker got
that might have been in Buddy Legends again. They blur together.
No, because Buddy Legends did it have dungeon stuff?
I think it was a good final set for essentially the first era of Buddy Fight in a vacuum. But I was sick of it. Really. Yeah. Really sick of it. And we needed something fresh, and I'm glad we got that. Last comment I'm going to say on Solar Strife is it gets a 6.
Same as me.
Yeah.
Now we get into Ace. Whew.
Gargantua Awakened.
Whoa. Let's take a breather.
We're almost done, man.
Gargantua Awakened. Probably the best set in Ace to date. Because it's the first. Like, Gargantua, or Deity Dragon Tri, or whatever it's called. Great deck. Astro Dragons, still too soon. Link Dragon Order, great deck. God Punks, F you.
Thank you.
Great set all around. Seem like to have like a rectangle like meta. Astros kind of do some things, but they still need more, obviously.
Gargantua Awakened was the most fun I've had with Buddy Fight in a while. It was just enjoyable. The pulls were really fun to get. There were a lot more doubles, triples, and secrets and buddy rares and all that stuff. The ratios were really great. It reintroduced that question mark, which is a new rarity, but it's basically the same thing as the old one,
which was all deemed premium or something. Hey, real quick question for you. Do you think Gargantua Awaken would be a good draft set?
Absolutely. Probably the best they've done in quite a while. We should buy a box and yes.
Let's do this.
All right, we're doing this.
Yeah.
So I like it. And I think it's got some really standout cards from all 4 archetypes. And I think all 4 of them got pretty well supported. I am kind of salty that Godpunks didn't get any high rarity cards over triple rare. Kind of hurts my feels.
Well, kind of.
But definitely value is there in this set. Not just money-wise, but just, getting stuff for trades and whatnot.
What what was I just about to say? Something that's not really Busha related, but the secondary market, price wise, everything seems to be more stagnant. It's not like, oh, this specific card's going to be $30 and that one's going to be like $1 or something like that. Everything seems fairly across the board priced out equally. Like each world has its values and unvalued, if that makes sense.
Super well defined, well designed, well manufactured, well everything set. Kind of sucks it got delayed for us, but it was worth the wait. 10 out of 10.
You definitely need to top that tournament just so you can get that promo.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's go off to the...
Did you rate it?
Wait, no, I didn't. 9 for Lynx, man. 9 for Lynx. Let's go Miko and Mel.
2 together.
No.
Okay, separate.
They're 2 separate.
Okay.
They're separate, man. They're not together. They're not an alternate booster.
Miko and Mel, really good set. Essentially only 2 sets of support.
Probably between the 2 sets, in a sense. The best in the sense of both decks can be relevant, and that's all you really need. Like, both of them can be meta.
And both relatively easy to build.
Mm-hmm. And Miracle Fighters is stupidly overpriced. What a surprise.
Only complaints are buddy rares look gross in English.
Well, I don't care about that. I like
colored.
that because it's back in the day. I never really cared for the colors.
I don't like it.
Because remember, I've been dissed on my colors already.
And then what was my other criticism? I had another one and I forgot it.
Not
like I know I just got done complaining about too much of this, but not enough legacy support.
Well, they kind of said they weren't going to do anything too crazy,
which I think is fine. But I think they could have thrown in.
I think the bigger thing
I think
you're missing is it seems way easier to pull more Electro Deity stuff compared to everything else.
Maybe
because that. If you watch the live stream where we opened up a few boxes of it, it seemed like that's all Jacob was getting.
But that might just be luck, man. No, I'll give it an 8 out of 10, though.
I'm giving it a 3, technically, since I only opened up 1 box, really.
And it's not.
No, I'm joking. I'm giving it an 8.
Okay.
I'm giving it an 8.
All right, good.
All right. Superhero Wars Omega, the Advent of Cosmo Man.
You first.
It's superhero time. Fantastic card. It's a shame that it's already like $35-$40. SP of I can't remember her actual name. MAT boss card. Stupid expensive. Some ERs. Stupid expensive. The set, honestly, in my opinion, seemed heavily Cosmo Man. Comparing it to Miracle Fighters, which they were both released at the same time, where they kind of Miracle Fighters seemed to be somewhat equal in balance there on archetypes, where it might have just been my boxes too. It could easily have been mine, where I felt like I was playing more Cosmo Man base cards over everything else.
Set as battle building, so I like it.
Yeah, battle building's nice.
I think all 3 new archetypes in it are relatively good. Design-wise, they're all perfect for what they need to be. Cosmo Man could stand to be a little better.
Which is surprising, right? Being the cover card.
But the other 2 are really well-designed, really fun to play / play against.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to criticize something from this set, and I forgot what it was.
I don't know what it was either, man.
Oh, I was going to criticize, believe it or not, Satsuki.
Wow.
Not because of the card itself, but because I felt it was really out of place in this set. They didn't give a reason for including it. There wasn't like a ton of support for it. It was just thrown in.
But it's also the same as the Dark Hero card, the Cardian card. Like you can give.
Yeah, but it's that triple rare rarity, you know. So it was a.
But
little
it is a good
more
card, though.
Yeah, I guess, but I still found it a little odd. So I'm going to give this set a 7.5.
Guess what? If you look at it, because Cosmo Man's a triple rare, boss card for MATs is a triple rare. Iborg is a triple rare. It's Superhero Times a triple rare. It kind of makes sense to make Satsuki a triple rare just because all the other Satsukis have been triple rares. And so that it doesn't seem like any of the other archetypes are more favorited over others. Because its Superhero Times can be used in all decks. Yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, so I gave it a 7.5. What did you give it? Or have you not?
I thought I did. I don't remember. I'm giving it a 7 just because MAT is probably best thing in it. Otherwise, I'd be getting a 6. But yeah. So I think we should wrap this up. I think we've talked people's ears off long enough. This is,
I think, one of our longest live streams.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of fun, though.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy looking back at Buddy Fight's history and looking forward to some new stuff coming out. We did only cover, English release sets so far.
Because those are the only ones we got our hands on. So, is it time to go to the outro-y stuff?
I think so. I just want to, before you get into the cool stuff, thank everyone who's joined us in chat, hanging out, saying things in chat, and those answering our questions on what buddy rares were what and all that jazz. So thanks for that.
All right. Make sure to subscribe. Hit the bell so you never miss when we upload / go live. Follow us on Instagram. Join our Discord to talk, to mess around, whatever you feel like doing in Discord. Check out our shop. Links will be in the description down below. Jacob, anything else from you?
No.
And with that, stay classy, y'all. Hey, Jacob, that's when you're supposed to go to the whole end thing.
No, I just want to hold it on you, man.
Thanks for listening to TCG Buzz. New episodes can be found on tcgbuzz.com. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. For box openings, deck profiles, and more, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel.